Thank you so much. Thank you to DO for this opportunity. Thank you for those who are attending and still hanging in there. I actually want to thank Joanna and the Wellbeing Alliance for outlining what midwifery is, so I don't have to get into all of that right now as well. We can go to the next slide. So my name is Ayanna Davison, and I am the founder of the Village House. And our mission is to create a safe and healing space where birthing families, especially those of the Black diaspora, reproductive care seekers, birth workers, and midwifery students are supported through comprehensive, impactful, holistic, community-based midwifery care. My vision is exceptional midwifery care for the community by the community. And that's a little piece of our community right there in that photo. This stems from me not only being within the community, but also learning about my grandmother as a midwife after her passing. I knew her to be a registered nurse, but when she passed away, I learned that she was a certified nurse midwife in the island of Antigua, and that is where I am today too. I am a certified nurse midwife. So to find that out was very powerful. And this is a photo of her as a midwife in Antigua. And then also a photo of us together. The first 2 weeks of my life we spent together. And my mom always say, I wonder what conversations you all had together, midwife to midwife. And so that's where the vision comes from and how I'm driven. We can go to the next slide. Um, we are a small but mighty team. Andrea Ordaz is our project manager, and you know that I'm the founder. And I know Andrea is in here, and I just want to say shout out to her. She's been pivotal in helping me build and grow. I am just getting started, and I am a newer fiscal sponsee to DU. And again, I'm so happy to be a part of this impactful organization. While I have been working for the last 10 years, it's also National Midwifery Week. So happy Midwifery Week to those who are on the call. And I'm also celebrating 10 years as a midwife. The last 10 years, like I said, I've been working in the hospital and I've been able to support well over 1,500 birthing people at their births. But I've moved away into, or I've expanded into community settings. And the biggest vision for the Village House is to successfully and sustainably open and operate a birth center in Riverside, California. I also would like to continue to create programming that will help people during their perinatal period and continue to inform the community that includes children, teenagers, and then also support our developing midwifery workforce. We are at a lack of midwives in the nation, and I could go into that, but I'm not going to I'm gonna, for the sake of time, I will skip over that. But we do need more midwives, and so I want to be able to also support the students as they are going along their journey. We can go to the next slide. So I also want to shout out Amber for this this exercise. It was not only important for us to see where we have come from, but it also inspires to where we are going. And so this is what this exercise has done for me. And again, I thank DU for this opportunity. So within the Village House, I've supported over 25 individuals and families. I often partner with Sankofa and other organizations for doula trainings. And those typically average about 10 or more participants. And in those trainings, I've done about 10 or so within the last several years. So we're looking at like about 1 to 200 folks there. I'm also a recipient of the Birth Future Foundation grant, and I am actively still searching for more grant money to make these dreams come true, and was able to partner with Sankofa for planning Black Maternal Health Weeks as well as Black Breastfeeding Weeks. I was able to also host student skills training days for some of the midwifery students in our community. And if you look at the middle picture on the right, both of those not only are, the person on the right is a midwifery student, but both of those are also my clients. So the work comes back full circle. Not only do our clients look to us for support, but we're able to reach out to them in the long term for support. And again, that's why this is for the community by the community. And then this year, I was able, over the course of time, I've hosted my own doula-centered review So this goes beyond like the trainings. It's to support them as they're in the work, maybe troubleshooting things that have happened in the course of time with their clients, reviewing terminology that they might hear, going over situations, and they've been really successful, and I've gotten really good feedback about those. And then probably one of my proudest accomplishments this year is the Voices of Midwifery event, where I was really trying to promote midwifery for the community and letting folks know that we're here and uplifting the voices of Black midwives of our community. So it included not only community-based midwives, which I believe everybody's community-based, but those who practice in home birth and birth center, but those who are also in the hospital. And it was really just a great congregation of the midwives and the community. So that's where I'm really excited. And another thing I'm proud about too is being a mentor to students. And I've done this with several different programs over the course of time. We can go to the next slide. Excuse me. So some of the challenges that we face are lack of information about midwifery. And again, like I said, I'm grateful that Joanna was able to share what we do because we are clinical providers and our scope goes well beyond. Um, and then we are also faced with the ongoing closures of birth centers and labor and delivery units, and even more recently, Corona Regional, if anyone's familiar with this area, that update that they'll be closing come January 2026, which puts a lot of pressure not only on other hospitals, but on the midwives as well. And so we are a resource that can fill in the gaps, but we also need the support to do so. So, historically, we have had a lack of access, or communities have had a lack of access to midwifery care, and we want to be able to offer that to them through the birth center and the programming that I mentioned earlier. Additionally, big challenge is lack of funding for project like birth centers because they kind of sit in a gray zone at times in terms of how the funding can be utilized. And so I'm looking for ways to continue to obtain funding and be able to offer the services to the community that I mentioned before. Again, our profession is not well recognized. Our scope isn't really well recognized within the insurance companies, and then the compensation that is offered oftentimes does not match the work that we do, or aligned with our colleagues who might work in the hospitals. So those are some of the challenges I faced. Next slide. And again, I mentioned earlier this project alone was a great reflection, and I am truly grateful for the opportunity to reflect on everything with DU. And it not only helps me look back at what I've done, but it inspires me to continue to do more. They've also allowed or offered extreme grant information and guidance, and that's been very helpful. Again, I think Joanna mentioned, like, we are out in the community doing work, and we don't necessarily always have that admin or managerial background. And so the support has been fantastic. And it's been wonderful to be able to network and engage with other organizations within and outside of DU. So if you need any more information, this is our contact info. You can scan the QR or reach out to us and we'll get back to you. Thanks so much.